Hello friends, and welcome to another Storytelling with Miss Gail. Today's story comes from the Caribbean, and it's a wonderful story. It's a version of Stone Soup that they like to tell. Now before we begin, I do want to tell you about two words that I'm going to use in the story. One of them is Callaloo. Callaloo is the name of the soup that they eat in the Caribbean. The other name is fungi, and fungi is kind of like a cornmeal mush or a polenta. So, I think we're ready. Are you ready? Let's begin. Once upon a time, there was an old lady. Now, everyone in the village called her Granny. She woke up and she stretched. Oh, it feels good. Why don't you stretch with me at home? She stretched, and she patted her stomach and she said, "Oh, my stomach is hungry. I will go and fix me something to eat." And so Granny went into the kitchen. She opened her cupboard. Oh no, there was nothing in her cupboard. There was no flour, there was no sugar, there was no salt. I will go to market and I will buy me something to eat, she said. And so she got out her pocketbook and she reached inside. I have no money to buy anything. And poor folk, which is what most of the people in that village were, poor folk do not give away food. I have to come up with another plan. I know, I will go fishing. And so Granny got her fishing rod and she went down to the sea and she threw her line in. But the fish were either really smart that day or they weren't hungry because she caught no fish. Oh, stomach, stop talking to me. I know I'm trying to think. And Granny sat down on the sand. And what did she see but a shell right at the edge of the water? It was a beautiful shell, and Granny picked that shell up and she put it to her ear, and she heard that shell say, "Soup." Soup? And Granny got an idea. She ran as fast as she could, which wasn't too fast for a Granny. She ran as fast as she could to the village, and she said, "I found it! I found it! Everyone gather round! I found a magic shell that is going to make Callaloo for everyone." Well, everyone in the market stopped what they were doing. "Granny, let's see." And she showed them the shell. "Never have I seen one like this, and it talked to me. It told me we need to make soup. So someone bring a big pot. Someone bring some wood for a fire, and let's fill that pot up with water and make soup." And sure enough, some men found a big black pot and they brought it. They put wood underneath. Some women filled that pot up with water, enough to make soup for everyone there in the village. They lit the fire and it burned until it had burned down to hot coals and the water began to bubble. And then Granny slipped that shell into that hot water and with a big spoon began to stir. She said, "Oh, this is gonna be the best soup ever, the best Callaloo." What? And Granny leaned over. She said, "Shh, shh, shh. The shell is talking to me, and I will talk to it. What are you saying?" "Oh, are you crazy, shell? We are poor people. No one here can give us some salty meat for this Callaloo. We will do without. It will be fine." But the lady that sold meat, she said, "Wait a minute. I have a ham bone and I have some dried beef for the Callaloo." And so they put that in the pot, and Granny began to stir again. "Oh, we cannot wait for the best Callaloo ever." What? The shell are talking to me again. What shell? The shell says it would love to have some onions. But I say, poor people, they cannot give away onions. But the woman that sold the root vegetables, the carrots and the onions and the potatoes, she said, wait, I have some onions here that are beginning to sprout. They are still good. And she chopped up a whole bunch of them, and they slipped that in the water, and they could begin to smell that soup. Oh, Granny said, it's not gonna be long now. Oh, I'm so excited. What are you saying, soup? What? The shell said it would love to have some fish and crab, but you're asking for the moon shell. Poor people can't give away fish or crab. But the fisherman said, wait, let me look in my net. And he dug down and he found fresh fish and a blue crab. Oh, they put that in the soup. And the people all were getting very hungry. Granny stirred and she said, What? What are you asking for now, Shell? The shell said it needs some okra and some garlic and some pepper to be the best callaloo ever. But I say, no. Poor people cannot give away okra and garlic and pepper. But the farmer from up north said, that is not too much to ask. I have some okra and some garlic. But I don't have any pepper. And one small girl said, I will go to the chicken fry place and I will borrow the pepper. And so they put in the okra and the garlic and the pepper, and they stirred that pot. Oh, Granny said, this soup is just about... What? Shell, what are you saying? This Shell, she wants too much. She said to be true callaloo, she has to be green. Friends, that's what color callaloo is. And the woman that sold green leafy vegetables, she said, I have some green leaf to put in the soup. And she put some green leaf, and she put some parsley and some celery and some thyme. Oh, it smelled so good. That smell went all through the village until the cook from the fried chicken place came out to find out what everybody was talking about. Granny, she tasted that soup. She said, oh, this soup is fit for a king. But the cook from the fried chicken place said, let me taste that. And so the Granny let the fried chicken person, she tasted that soup and she said, oh, this soup is almost perfect. It only needs one more thing. One more thing, said Granny. Shell, you need one more thing? But the shell had stopped talking. And the cook said, there is only one thing that this callaloo needs. It tastes wonderful, but it must have fungi. And I make the best fungi ever. No magic shell can ever make it better than me. And the fried chicken person, she went back to her shop and she came back with a big bowl of fungi, golden cornbread mush. Oh, and everyone brought their bowls and they got a scoop of that golden cornbread and a big ladle of that callaloo. And they ate and they ate and they ate until it was all gone. And Granny, she patted her belly. It was not talking to her anymore. It was very full and very happy. Everybody celebrated. They said, yay for Granny, yay for her magic shell, yay for callaloo. And Granny, she reached down and picked up that shell and she put it to her ear What do you say now, shell? And that shell said, sea, sea. Ah, yes, said Granny. And Granny went back down to the sea. She put that shell back right at the water's edge where she had found it. Thank you, shell. Thank you for the wonderful Callaloo. I will leave you now. I wonder who will find that shell next. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that story from the Caribbean and that you will join us next time for another story traveling with Miss Gail. Bye, friends.